Policy is one driver of innovation, and education is an important policy area. Schools and universities can integrate the results of gendered innovation into their curriculum. In the past 30 years, many courses devoted to women or gender have been added to the curriculum. Most of these courses are in the humanities and social sciences. What is lacking across the US, Europe, and Asia are courses that integrate the results of sex and gender analysis into the core curriculum. It is difficult at the moment to know how many courses in the natural sciences, engineering, and medicine incorporate sex and gender. We did a survey of courses at Stanford University. We found that many courses focused on gender. My course on gendered innovations in science, medicine, and engineering is a good example. It's located in the humanities. And while a number of students from science and engineering take the course, it's not part of their required course sequence. Why is it important to integrate sex and gender into basic science and engineering courses? If funding agencies require PIs to integrate sex and gender analysis into research, these topics must be taught at university. I would be happy to receive model course syllabi from viewers. Let's start with medicine and a success story. Integrating sex and gender into the medical curriculum may in fact be a matter of life and death. We have seen that researchers can develop better drugs and devices, for example, when they take sex into account. And here we will focus on Charité in Berlin. Integrating sex and gender knowledge throughout their curriculum ensures adequate knowledge and skills for future physicians in etiology, pathogenesis, clinical presentations, diagnosis, treatment, and research of diseases. Gender medicine was integrated throughout all 6 years of training, from early basic science to later clinical modules. The relevance of gender, that is, sociocultural differences that combined with sex, that is, biological differences, in disease manifestation throughout the curriculum. 2 factors were particularly important in the process: the support of the dean and a change agent, that is to say, a faculty member who oversaw the process, facilitated interaction with all key players, and established a support framework. The Charité is publishing an article on their process, which includes 10 steps. Steps 1 through 4 identify the gender-related content to be integrated into a specific lecture. As any good teaching, lectures are based on the best current data-driven research. Steps 5 through 6 work with and support the individual faculty member who gives that lecture. Steps 7 to 9 evaluate and monitor the process, and Step 10 tests all material for gender-sensitive language. Evaluation of this program at Charité showed that gender elements were integrated into 21% of lectures, 12% of seminars, and 8% of practical courses. In the U.S., Marjorie Jenkins of Texas Tech and a number of people are working with the National Board of Medical Examiners to include questions about sex and gender medicine on the U.S. medical licensing exam. This is a major step forward. Universities will teach to the exam. In addition, a summit on sex and gender medicine education will be held in October at Mayo Clinic. Now we come to engineering. It's also important that schools of engineering include basic information on gender in their courses for any field of engineering with a human endpoint. Our case study on Google Translate makes clear why this is important. If engineers graduating from Stanford had learned the basics of gender analysis, they would not have unconsciously developed a translation program that defaulted to the male pronoun. Also, knowledge of sex differences are important to take into account for automobile safety. Conventional seatbelts, for example, do not fit pregnant women properly, and motor vehicle crashes are a leading cause of fetal death. These things can be remedied. Design could be gender inclusive from the beginning, and companies would not have to retrofit for the excluded sex, whether that is men or women. It is crucial to incorporate gender into the engineering curriculum. Many schools of engineering, and especially departments of computer science, have redesigned their curriculum to attract more women into their fields. That's important, but we also need curriculum reform to teach all computer scientists and engineers, both men and women, about gender analysis. Here I will discuss Carmen Leich-Schulten's work at Aachen University in Germany. She currently holds a professorship for gender and diversity in engineering located in the Faculty of Civil Engineering. From the point of view of innovation, she is the change agent. The aim of the professorship is to integrate gender and diversity perspectives into the wide range of subjects within engineering science. The students are trained to have a competency in gender and diversity alongside a competency in technical skill. Aachen then has inserted gender and diversity issues into the civil engineering curriculum. It would be important to extend this to mechanical engineering, product design, human and computer interface, environmental engineering, bioengineering, industrial and chemical engineering, and any part of electrical engineering with a human outcome. Mainstreaming gender issues into courses in the natural sciences, medicine, and engineering is something we need to do now systematically. GenderNet, run through the European Commission, is currently working on these issues for engineering. UGenMed, also funded by the European Commission, is working on them for medicine. The Canadian Institutes for Health Research are making training modules for medicine and public health. And the NIH in the United States is developing training for preclinical research. We'll try to keep you up to date as model programs emerge. Innovation is what makes the world tick. It is crucial that we train the next generation in the vital area of sex and gender analysis.